is problematic or not. So
Awesome.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you
go on
so
a
much.
limb and say probably.
Yes. You know what? Today's lesson is super relevant because unlike often when we do these lessons, we are dealing with this a lot right now in our current events. Who knows what's going on that has to do with fossil fuels, the burning of fossil fuels, and the problems it can create? Anybody know what's going on in our world? Yep, it does have to do with that. Absolutely has to do with global warming. What's going on in our world right now where global warming and fossil fuels are making the news? Anybody? Ooh, this could be good. What is going on with Russia? What is going on with Russia right now? Anybody know? Yeah, a war. A war. There's a war with Ukraine, all right? Putin has attacked Ukraine, right? And there is a lot of people that think that that is not cool because of how he's doing it, his intentions of doing it, right? They've established like humanitarian efforts so that people like you and I, if we don't want to be in that country during this war, that there would be a way for those people to get out. And Putin has said that he wouldn't bomb those areas, that path where people are trying to get out, and he keeps doing it. All right. So you're seeing a lot of civilian death, or you're seeing an increase in orphans and widows. It's crazy. And so the United States is at at a tough point because we have been trying to, since we have President Biden in the office, he has tried to do less drilling for oil in the United States of America because of what they call green energy. What is some green energy? Does anyone know? What is green energy? Gas, solar. Good. Wind. Yes. Hydroelectric. Good. Real a lot of those. So a lot of these are going to be our solar panels, our wind turbines, and yes, hydroelectric by water. The problem with with green energy is it takes a long time and a lot of it to power us. Does that make sense? Geothermal, good, Titus. All right, so it takes a long time to get a lot of those resources versus when we use oil. All right. Now President Trump had a different perspective when it came to energy. He didn't say we should not use green energy, but he understood the value in he understood a value in production of oil. All right. So there are some problems with with oil, right? They put off something we call greenhouse gases, which slowly eats away at our Earth's ozone layer. He said, build a wall. He did. Um, so what he did is he gave people opportunities in the United States of America. He gave them resources to tap in and get fossil fuels in America. And for the first time in our nation's history, the United States of America, we had enough oil in our country to supply our need. You know what supply and demand is? We had a lot of oil to meet our own needs. We didn't have to rely on other nations to give us oil for our cars, for our trucks, for our planes, to warm our houses. Yeah, we were what we call energy independent. We weren't required, um, you weren't leaning on other countries for their oil. All right. Now, when Biden got into office, he said, I don't like that we're tapping into all of this oil and creating natural gas, these fossil fuels to eat away at the ozone layer. So I'm going to shut down all these attempts, not all of them, but lots of attempts to be drilling for oil. All right. President Trump gave out incentives for tapping into American oil, where President Biden doesn't like that. So he's not going to hand out money, etc., while we do that. I know she's got her lizards with her. We got our dogs in class with us today, our lizards in our class. So, what am I saying about this is that this is becoming a big problem because United States right now does not want to support Russia. We do not want to give Russia the money that we have from the United States of America to fuel this war that's going on. However, because we've shut down some of our oil production here in the States, we can't say, no, Mr. Putin, we don't want to buy your oil, because if we do that, we won't have enough oil in our country to meet our supply. All right. We could, if President Biden would open up some of those things like President Trump did. Unfortunately, I feel like this is where politics kind of take over. And I think that you could believe in green energy, but if you realized with what's going on in our country, that we might need to be a little bit more dependent right now on our own fossil fuels, and then come back to making that green energy agenda later when we get through this, that might be the answer. But because our politicians stand so strongly, it's tough. It makes it tough for them to do, I think, what's always best, right? Because of how they got elected into the office. Right. So right now we actually are having a shortage of fossil fuels. And what is that doing to you guys at your house on our family levels? How are the limited amounts of fossil fuels right now affecting us? Your parents. Yes. Your gas prices are going up, right? They're getting close to $4 a gallon, which is super high around here. But they're $5, $6, $7 a gallon other places. Yep, our utility prices are going up. All of that is going up because, and as of yesterday, we're trying to say no to Russia for money, but we also don't know where we're going to get all of the difference of the oil that we need, that we usually purchased from Russia. All right. So I love that I didn't want to go on a tangent, but this is super, super relevant because it's what's going on in the world right now. There's a need for fossil fuels, and the people that have them and are exporting them are making big dollars for their country, right? Whereas countries that are importing them are paying a high cost, which means their citizens are paying a high cost. And while we are going to look at the problems that fossil fuels create, there are also some problems to renewable energy. If it were an easy exchange or an easy fix, I think we would have less of a problem on our hands as we do today. All right. So I want to show a 1-minute video on Nearpod. It is legitimately about 1 minute. I'm going to pop it up and then screen share. Because it's so short, I don't think it's worth it. Probably would take us longer to all log in. All right. Rather than just watch it here. So if there are questions, we're going to answer those in chat. Here we go. All right. Let's make sure you can hear it. Could you hear that? Is that all the way back? Okay, let's see. Why is it not starting? What? Okay, let's try this again. Oh, no, I clicked the wrong button. Come on, Mrs. Rittenhouse. I'm struggling today. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Front of class. Milo will get you some. It's on the printer. All right. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Can you hear? No. Okay, hold on one second. So I'm guessing that you're hearing it through my microphone. Does that make sense? So you're going to probably hear it. You might hear it like it's through that. I'm not sure. Try to see if there's anything I can fix. I'm looking to see if there's anything I can do. All right, let's try it one more time. It was very quiet. Okay, let's see. If not, then I might give you the link and you might have to watch it on your own screens, which I don't love. Trying to see here. Let me try one more thing. I have an idea of what I can do here. Let's see if... Okay. I found it on YouTube instead of Nearpod, and so I think it might let me share that a little easier because Neuro likes this. All right. Here we go. All right, I'm going to narrate. My other version has someone talking in it. So let me do this. There, see? Okay. So right here, we're looking at trippy. Did you follow all that? So basically, what this video showed you is the oxygen cycle and the carbon cycle all in one. Yes, side by side. Sounds like somebody's got a fun trip. Okay, so I want to watch this one more time because it really is super cool. This time I'm not going to narrate. I really just want you to watch close. Okay, here we pretty cool. I see chat going on, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to put that link in the chat. I think it's super cool, super helpful. It explains the carbon dioxide or the carbon and oxygen cycles side by side. All right. What do you guys think of that video? Do you think it was cool? I honestly feel like for such a short video it's super informational. Shows you two cycles at the same time. All right. So I'm popping this back in, and then we're going to head to breakout rooms here in a minute and play games. Awesome. I'm glad you liked it. I'm going to again put that in. I put that link in chat if you want to keep it, save it to watch it again. You can also, I'll put them in the announcements page. So if you want to revisit there for resources, you can go there as well. So the one thing I want to cover really quickly, is this it? No. We know about photosynthesis. I don't want to do spend time doing that, is talking about this right here. All right. How we get fossil fuels or big amounts of carbon is that fossil fuels are made over long periods of time deep down in our earth. All right. So fossil fuels, we can burn them pretty quickly, but they take years to create. All right. Also, when we use those fossil fuels, the output of that goes into our air and can be damaging to our ozone layer. Is this what I wanted? All right, yeah, it's just showing you that how over time our emissions of fossil fuels have gone up. All right. And because they have gone up, you sometimes see also a rise in temperature over time. Now, this isn't a dramatic change, but it is something that is speculated that over time could create some issues. So, when we do use fossil fuels, I like to say I don't personally believe using fossil fuels is wrong or necessarily bad, but what do I always say about things in science? Everything in what? Xavier's on it. Everything in moderation, right? Moderation. So, like, just like we said, like everybody, some people are like, "Oh, carbs are bad for you," and I taught you that carbs are not bad for you, right? Carbohydrates in moderation are 100% important for you. Just like, yeah, carbs are energy. You need carbs. Your body needs carbs. Your hormones need carbs. Same thing with fossil fuels. I believe using them is a good thing. I believe that they're. Thank you so much. That's beautiful. It's a rainbow. Ren made me a beautiful rainbow. He said hello to everyone. Okay. So anyway, what that's my stance on it is to use it. I think green energy is also good. And like I said, I feel like a moderation of both is probably what's going to be most efficient for our country, and the safety of our country as we're learning with this war, not depending on other countries to provide us the things that we need to start our cars and to keep our houses warm, right? Because just like we're seeing with Russia, are other countries and other country leaders always as dependable as ours? At the end of the day, man, there are some bad guys. There are some bad guys, and when bad guys and girls and ladies rule countries, and there's some bad things that happen. So when we have the freedom that we have in our country, the democracy we have in our country, although it's not perfect, um, it's it's important to know what that is and value it. And in my opinion, to not have to depend on some of these crooked world leaders for things that we need every day. All right. So what we're going to do today is an escape room. All right. We're going to go into breakout rooms, and this escape room is going to test your knowledge on cycles. So I just yawned. Sorry. That's why I got really quiet for a minute. So what I would really like is a couple of leaders for the breakout room. What I'd like you to do is you're going to need this link right here. If you could share your screen. So the breakout room is in the form of a Google document. So you'll want to share your screen. It asks for an email at the beginning. I don't care whose you give me. That part really doesn't matter much to me. This is not for a grade. So I would just like you have no knowledge. So Caden said he would run one of the breakout rooms. Is somebody else willing to do another breakout room just to share your screen? Anybody else willing to share your screen and just kind of type in or just at least lead a team through this? I'm going to put Caden's breakout room. It's breakout room number 1. Awesome. So Caden's breakout room. Let me make sure. I'm going to turn on room switching so you can go to a room of your choice. Wait, did that save? Yes. Okay. Let me look here. Who else? Is there anyone else willing? This is for a participation grade, so not a grade in the grade book that would bring you up or down. I just want people to participate. Thank you, Rennie. Is anybody else willing to lead a room, or at least you're in the very first room? So if you want to go to breakout room 1, Caden, and get that Google Doc up and sharing, that would be awesome. If you want to go to Caden's breakout room, you can follow him there. Alex, JB, Mila. Trying to think of you. Anybody willing to at least share your screen? You don't have to necessarily use your mic for the Google Doc. Thank you. All right, I'm sending you that Google Forms link. I'm going to make Alex's room breakout room number 2. I'm hoping to have one more. I want to let me change the name of it. One more volunteer. You wouldn't even have to use your mic if you would just share your screen so that we can. Yes. And if you want to work independently, you are welcome to just take that link and do that as well. So if you're more comfortable with that. Oh, you don't have screen share? Let me go. I wonder if that's in room settings. Screen share? It looks like you have permission to screen share. Try one more time. I'll pop in there too and make sure. Let me go in. Oh, Caden has a question too. So if you're waiting, go ahead and go to this form by yourself and complete that. If you're watching online, I'm going to be posting this breakout room in the announcements. So at this point, I'm going to end the recording for you guys, and you can go, if you're watching this back, and do this breakout room or this escape room on your own.